Another brick fan with a 2021 Harry Potter set. This is Hogwarts Fluffy Encounter. This is set 76387, was released in June 2011, has 397 pieces, 4 minifigures, and cost about $40 when it was released. This set is based on the first movie, or first book, which was called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone, depending on where you lived. In the US, it was the Sorcerer's Stone. And it depicts the scene where Harry, Ron, and Hermione are trying to get to the Philosopher's Stone, and getting past Fluffy is the first challenge. As you can see, this set comes with the 4 minifigures here, and we'll take a closer look at those in a minute, but let's take a look at the main build first. Let's start with the star of the show, which is Fluffy. Fluffy is the 3-headed dog that Hagrid found, or is a friend of Hagrid's. Hagrid tends to like all magical creatures. There are 3 completely different heads, as you can see. This one here in the front is drooling, looks like he's asleep. Then moving to this next head, whose eyes are wide open, snarling. And finally, this last head where it looks like he is half awake with one eye open and then his mouth starting to open. They did a good job incorporating all these heads in. So they do spin, and they are on ball joints, so they can be positioned in many ways. As you kind of move the heads out of each other's way, you can position him in lots of different ways. So it makes for some interesting playability. The legs have both a hip joint and a knee joint, but the knee only bends forward. So the way the leg is designed, this friction hinge here only goes in one direction. So you can set Fluffy up to be lying down if you wanted. You could move all of these friction joints on all 4 legs. And they're pretty much all built exactly the same. So they're all the same size legs for Fluffy. He's made out of this dark brown and the brown colors. And there is a small tail here in the back. Overall, I think Fluffy turned out quite nicely and can be positioned in many ways to support some additional playability. Like I said, especially the heads, because they can be moved around in many different ways. Taking a look at the building, it is very modular, so all of the pieces come apart here. So the building comes apart into all these different pieces. So let's go ahead and start with this kind of roof piece. And as you see, this looks like a little house or something like that, maybe a little alchemy corner or alcove, where we have some banners up here. On the inside, there's a really nice print on this clear minifigure head here. So you see that print there on this jar, what it looks like, but it is the same size as a minifigure head, and then there's more printing on the back. And that just kind of goes on this table here. There's a candle and then another stopper, and then it looks like a burner with a pot on it. Turning it around, you see kind of the outside. Turning around, you'll see the outside of the castle here with a bunch of these unicorn horns for some texture. And this can go on top of whichever one of these elements you want. There's another smaller element which kind of looks like a little balcony to me. So here we have the archways that are going into the building. Of course, the Technic, or the 1x1s with a hole in them on either side so it can connect to other buildings. A couple of flames here, and then the outside of the castle. So it looks like it's part of the outside of the castle wall with this little balcony look. Under that, at least in the original configuration I had, is this small piece, which looks like it's kind of underground in the castle. You can see from this kind of stone look on the outside, and this may be just the bottom of the castle. So this all these plant pieces here in black look like they are designed to represent the Devil's Snare, which was the second challenge to getting to the Sorcerer's Stone. So once you got past Fluffy, you would fall down into this. And of course, these buildings being modular like they are, you can actually put this together and put this up above like this, so that this trap door here opens up into the Devil's Snare. And then you could have other pieces down here, whether it's this one or however you want. And you can definitely reconfigure this to look however you want. But it makes sense for this section to be directly under where you get past Fluffy first. So Fluffy's room was on the 3rd floor, and then it goes down into the Devil's Snare, the first challenge. This is the big room where Fluffy lives, and as you can see, or is staying anyway. You can see there's a turkey leg over here. I already showed you this trap door that goes down. Again, it should go into where the Devil's Snare is. There's some of these little details over the arches. One thing I have found with this model is that this piece right here is just barely clipped on. It does have this groove in it, so it could be used. This is the kind of piece that was used in city sets for garage doors and things like that, but that gives it some texture here when placed this way. But this is very easy to make come off of here. So normally they would have locked it in with another layer, which something like this is the roof that comes with it. And as you can see, it's got some lights up here, which are nice, but it doesn't do anything across this way. So this piece is still kind of loose, which I didn't like very much, but it's not probably a big deal because you could configure this with something else on top, which would give it more stability. Looking to the front, definitely looks like the outside of the Hogwarts castle. So you see some more exposed bricks, and there's a couple of stickers here on these windows. There's some larger areas here to let in light. There is a Hogwarts crest here on the outside, once again on a sticker. And then the traditional sand green roof that you see on the exterior of Hogwarts. Now we've taken a look at all of the elements that are part of the main build. Let's go back and take a look at the minifigures. This set comes with 4 minifigures, which include Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, and a golden Hermione Granger. Starting with Harry and Ron, here is Harry in his black Hogwarts robes, and you can see the gray sweater with the Hogwarts gold and red coloring underneath it. You see the red trim here on the hood and the red and gold tie. Ron is also in his Gryffindor robes, although his are left open. So you can see more of the gray sweater that he's wearing with, once again, the yellow and red striping there for the Gryffindor colors, and then the yellow and red tie, his signature red hair, and then the freckles that he has here. All look quite good. Moving around to the sides here, there's no side printing on either one of these. And then you do see the same back printing with it. Well, Ron's is a little bit bigger hood here, it looks like. More to that unkempt look that Ron likes to use. A little red trim inside of the hood. As far as alternate expressions, here's Harry with a more scared look, and Ron also with a more scared look for their alternate expressions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 2 versions of Hermione Granger that come with this set. Here we have Hermione Granger, and like Harry, I think she has the same torso and leg pieces as Harry. They all have these short legs, since this is in year 1 where they encountered Fluffy. Hermione's hair, the hair that goes over her shoulders. The Gryffindor logo here in the corner, as I pointed out with Harry. Golden Hermione Granger here has the pearl gold, so pearl gold wand, which I believe are unique to these figures. I haven't seen the wand in pearl gold before. And then there's kind of this reddish or pinkish looking print on here to do the rest of the school uniform. It looks like she's just wearing the sweater as opposed to robes. And you can see some extra stars and stuff on those robes. Moving around to the back. So on the back of Hermione, just like Harry, you see the hood with a red trim, and then here is her alternate expression. No alternate expression on Hermione on the golden version, but you do see this 20 years of Harry Potter logo that's on her back. Now that we've looked at all the minifigures, let's go back and I'll give you my final thoughts on the set. These 20th anniversary sets also come with random wizard cards. These are like the cards you would get with a chocolate frog. And this set comes with 2. I got Severus Snape. So these are not unique to each set. These are random. I got Severus in one of my other sets as well. I also got Minerva McGonagall, or Professor McGonagall, as my other card for this set. Overall, I think this is a really good set. I like the modular nature of these sets to be able to move around the various pieces in order to arrange it the way you want. I think if you purchase all of the sets and put them all together, I think it's going to make for a really nice castle from year 1 and year 2, which seem to be what all of these building sets are from, or the sets that include buildings, with the exception, I guess, of the Hogsmeade village visit. But all of the elements that include castles seem to be around the first 2, Chamber of Secrets and Sorcerer's Stone. Moving on to the value of this set, it is very close to 400 pieces for $40, so right at that 10 cent per piece. You also get 4 minifigures and essentially a big fig or brick-built figure in Fluffy here, who turned out quite nicely. So I think the value is really good. In fact, the value for most of the Harry Potter 2021 wave seems very good. Most of them include lots of minifigures and include mini pieces as well, sticking around that 10 cent per piece or better mark. So I think this turned out quite nicely. I think it's a really good value and certainly a good set for Harry Potter fans. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this set. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to see more of my content. I've left a link to some of my other Harry Potter reviews up here on the screen.